Good morning.
Good morning.
Can everybody hear me? Good? All right. We're going to start the program off with an invocation by Dr. Forbes.
Before blessing this occasion, the mayor has given me permission to make a few comments.
Perfect.
I am proud to be a Garner resident. I'm proud that I have been able to watch this edifice, this elegant place come into being. I said to the mayor and to the manager that there's no better appointed municipal building in the United States of America or the world. There's some bigger, but none more elegant and none more symbolic of what is possible when a mayor and the council and the manager work together to challenge the Garner community. This represents all of us who voted on the bond issue to see that this and our police station and our recreation center and other projects would be second to none. And so we have every reason to pray. I don't need to pray long because I've just given the sentiment, I believe, of the Garner community. Garner, give yourself a big hand. Oh God, we thank you that we are witnesses to the coming to pass of the dedication of our town hall. We thank you for each citizen who responded to our leadership, our political leadership, social leadership, and religious leadership to see that this day would come to pass. We thank you for our mayor and for those who stood the test of time to challenge the citizenry to build more stately mansions for our municipality. We ask that you will bless and hallow this occasion and that we will long remember and never forget that hard work and unity can produce beautiful things. We ask all of these favors, believing them done in your name, the name of whatever faith one has, but many of us say in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Welcome to the ribbon cutting ceremony for the new Town of Garner Town Hall. This is a momentous event that only happens 40 to 50 years. It is truly a special day, and we are glad that you chose to share it with us this morning. Before we get started with the program, I'd like to introduce a few people. First of all, the Garner Town Council, Mayor Ronnie Williams, Mayor Pro Tem Kathy Behringer, Council Member Jackie Johns, Council Member Buck Kennedy, Council Member Ken Marshburn, and Council Member Grace Singleton. Give them a hand. We also have many other dignitaries with us today, and I will attempt to recognize some of them. We have other mayors from surrounding communities here with us. We have Mayor Bob Matheny from Zebulon, Vivian Jones from Wake Forest, Dick Sears from Holly Springs, Mayor Byrne from neighboring Fuquay-Varina. Thank you for being here with us. We also have Sonia Barnes, Wake County's liaison for Congressman Price, representing us today. And she is a Garner citizen also, so we appreciate her being here. We have Neil Paget with the Garner Chamber joining us today. We also have some former council members and mayor here. We have former Mayor Sam Bridges, former council member Phil Matthews, and former council member Nick Harrison. And hopefully I didn't miss anyone else. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I hadn't got to that list yet, but I'm gonna get there. We have with us, representing us from state office, Senator Chad Barefoot, Representative Rosa Gill, and I believe that's it from state office. I also want to recognize my fellow town managers and assistants that are here. You could just raise your hand. We appreciate you supporting us on this morning. Also joining us today is former town manager Hardin Watkins. Thank you, Hardin, for all you did to make this come to fruition. Want to recognize any county commissioners here. Okay. And want to send a special recognition to all of our retirees. We appreciate you coming back and supporting us. So we have a lot of retirees in the audience today. As well as we have some regional partners like Triangle J. I think saw Mr. Worley here. Thanks for being here. And let's see, we have, I want to also recognize the architects, ADW. I think Mr. Jim Powell is here in front. Thank you for this beautiful building. We get already getting a lot of good comments on that. And also the contractor, representing them is Tony Jordan, Philip Crosby, and the superintendent on the job was Dan Shields, and they're all from Resolute Contractors. So thank you very much for what you did. And any school board members here today? Oh, okay. We have Monica Johnson Hosler joining us today. Thank you for being here. And hopefully I didn't miss anyone. There's so many people here, so I apologize if I missed anyone, but we appreciate you being here. But while I have the liberty of being at the mic, I also want to recognize my wife, Wendy, and my in-laws. So I do want to go home after this, so I better do that. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to the mayor and for some remarks, and I'll join you later.
I'm gonna reverse the order. Let the council go first.
Okay.
Captain Barron, Mayor Pro Tem.
All right. He's the mayor. He can do that, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I couldn't do anything without the council anyway.
Well, this day has truly been a long time coming. And as you all know, the council works thoughtfully and purposely and inclusively, okay? And so we didn't do this fast. We didn't put it on a fast track, but we worked on it and we got it right. And we wouldn't have gotten it right had it not been for all of you and the input from the citizens of this town to tell us what they liked, what they didn't like, put all that information together, and we have what you see behind us. So thank you all for all your help and for coming to help us celebrate today.
To God be the glory for the good things he have done for you, the taxpayers of Garner. Your tax dollar at work. I was telling someone a few minutes ago that this makes the second town hall that I have been involved in. So you know that's been quite a long time. But you, the taxpayers in the town of Garner, show how much we appreciate and how much we love our town. All of you should be proud of this great building that we have back here. And we are going to use it to God's glory, not to our glory. Because if it had not been for him, we would not be here today. So again, we said thank you, taxpayers, and all of you who have visited us today, to say we are proud of you too. And the other communities, maybe when you arrive at the point where you are building one, we can come and share with you. Again, thank you for being here today. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Good morning to you all. My name is Ken MARSHBURN, and it's been my privilege to serve on the council now for approximately 10 years. It'll be 10 years this November, and I never would have imagined, perhaps, when I first ran for council, the opportunity to come to an event like this. So I want to echo what Dr. Forbes said in his comments, that this is a reflection of all the people of Garner here today. And I was thinking as I looked out there, maybe I should say, wow, this is like a big council meeting where so many people attend. But if you all wanted to attend a meeting today, our council room is not quite large enough to accommodate you all, but come to a meeting and we will accept you with open arms. The mayor didn't give me a time limit, so I promised
3 minutes.
I promised to be short, but I did make a couple notes that I want to share with you. And so, you know, as you look at this building here, obviously it represents a lot of different things for different people. But for me, there are three things that I want to mention just briefly, and one of those has already been mentioned. One is the good people of Garner, or maybe I should say the goodness of the people of Garner. When we started talking about our need for some new facilities under the leadership of Hardin Watkins, and we began talking about a bond issue, that was, while it wasn't a contentious discussion, it was one that generated a lot of different ideas, and so we weren't sure how our citizens might respond to this. But much to our pleasure, and I should say maybe to our surprise, the citizens did pass a $35.6 million bond issue, which included this building. And all the citizens here in Garner will remember that this is not the only building we built. You just look to my right over here is a new police station. And if you go to the older portion of town, you'll see rising out of the ground over there a recreation center. So because of your willingness to pass the bond issue, we've been able to achieve these kinds of things. And so this represents the good people of Garner, and I thank you for your generosity. In my opinion, this building also represents good government. In a time when the trust level between elected officials and their constituents is low, it's encouraging to note that local government is working hard to understand the concerns of its citizens. This building represents a place where government seeks to do what is right and where citizens can come to observe and participate through petition and personal observation. I came across a quotation recently which talks about the relationship between government and its citizens, and it simply says, the value of government to the people it serves is in direct relationship to the interest citizens themselves display in the affairs of government. So you can understand it's a two-way process. Not only do we require elected officials to be responsive, but you as citizens also should be engaged and keep us accountable. And then the third thing that I would mention, which probably is most important, I believe this building represents the future, or what I would call a good future. In many ways, this building represents the next generation. When the old building was dedicated many years ago, I'm not sure how many, maybe 40 or 50 years ago, few could have imagined the substantial changes which have occurred over the past 40 to 50 years. The growth in population is just one example of change. Consider the growth of our schools, our roadways, our parks and recreation, our businesses, and the amenities that the town now has. 50 years from now, another generation will be standing here or at some place similar to this, and the progress that has been made will be measured by what we do here today. Someone has said that the future is like a corridor into which we can see only by the light coming from behind. It is my hope and my prayer that this building and those who pass through these doors will be that light. And so with that, I leave you that challenge. And let's all be lights for those who will follow after us. Thank you very much.
Good morning. I'm Buck Kennedy. I certainly appreciate all of you that are in attendance today. We see some faces in the crowd that have helped shape Garner as we see it today, and we thank you for your service, for those that were elected, those that supported us from afar in our sister communities, and for those of you that served and had your career here with the town. I'll reach back a little bit and tell you that as a young adult and a young man early in his political career, Winston Churchill returned home to his birthplace called Blenheim, actually Blenheim Castle. He'd already suffered one defeat in his run for Parliament, but had been successful on a subsequent trial, had participated in the Boer War. And why do I invoke Winston Churchill? His mother was American, by the way, so he's got a little bit of a resting place here with us. But he was reflecting upon his young career, and he was looking at his home place, and he thought how fortunate he was, but some of the trials he'd been through, and he says, you know, we shape our buildings, thereafter our buildings shape us. The edifice before you is truly a collaborative and a cooperative effort among our staff, our administration, our elected officials, our architect, and our contractor. The vista upon which you see this facility would be hard to replicate. As you come up Ayersboro Road and crest the hill at Forest Drive, move over into the right lane, at least right now, and then you can catch your first glimpse of Town Hall. And what a sight. It's stately, it's slightly elevated, it looks and speaks your local government. Now I'll tell you that these unsightly power lines that you see on the other side of the building are going to be removed. They'll go underground. But I want to let you know that they will not deter from the beauty of this facility. Thank you very much back there. I see somebody that appreciates that. But that's the facade. Once you get on the interior, you'll find that it's welcoming, that it's spacious, that it's functional, and it's durable. Just bang into one of the walls in that main corridor. It's durable. But it's a facility in which we can take pride. Council is appreciative of your effort on the bond referendum that was successfully passed in 2013 and that allowed our well-used and over 40-year-old former town hall to be replaced. And if you consider Garner's history of town hall facilities, most were borrowed facilities. It was only in the 70s when we had our own that was built from scratch and started as and designed as a town hall. So 40 years ago, we constructed our own, but today we celebrate a renewal of that effort on the very same site. That speaks well within itself. So to those of you that have either worked for the town, served in an administrative capacity and as manager, or served as an elected official, we trust you will have as much pride in our new town hall as you did the one in which you served. To me, town hall speaks service. Sir Winston had one other thought that was appropriate for this time. It's not enough that we do our very best. Sometimes we have to do what is required. Looking to the future, we also trust that this building will define and shape our service to Garner and will reflect the manner in which it was planned, designed, and constructed. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Gray Singleton, member of the Town Council. I want to thank all of you for coming today on this nice, beautiful, sunny day. I want to thank all of you for support of the bond referendum, as mentioned by my fellow council members. The support of that bond referendum has allowed us to build this new town hall, the new police station, the rec center, to construct sidewalks, make improvements to our parks, improvements to some roadways. So without the support of the citizens, none of these projects would get done. I can assure you that members of the council and the staff work together to try to use those bond dollars in a wise manner, and also all the dollars that are spent in the town budget. We try to be smart and efficient as we can. So thank you for coming today. Thank you for the support to allow us to dedicate this new town hall, because it's people here today, young and old alike, that help make Garner what it is, and that's a great place to be. Thank you.
Let me make one thing perfectly clear. This is the people's house. Because your money is going to be made available to be paid for. How about a pat on the back? Give yourselves a pat on the back. It's great to see all of you here for this special event. There's two things that I really enjoy in terms of being mayor: groundbreakings and ribbon cuttings. I want to thank the dignitaries that came out this morning to celebrate this new beginning. We're grateful for all the partnership and collaborations with you and with the various governmental agencies you represent. I want to thank the town council. I joke about it, but I couldn't do anything without them. So they've been supportive, and they've been willing to step forward and actually raise the taxes so we can have some of these things. Speaking of the citizens, we must acknowledge and thank them for authorizing the funds to build the new town hall with the bond program. It says in the book of Proverbs that through wisdom a house is built. By understanding it is established. It was through the wisdom of voters and then elected officials and staff that the new home for our town hall was conceived and built, and it will be understanding the needs and aspirations of the citizens. The building is quite rightly a source of pride for our community. It makes a significant first impression. I believe it is a stunning success from an architectural standpoint, and I congratulate our architects on a job well done. Now it's up to the town's leaders and staff to continue the good work. Thank you for being here. God bless you, and God bless America.
Yeah, I didn't introduce myself initially. I'm Rodney Dickerson, the town manager.
I didn't need something like
That was Mayor Ronnie Williams, for those that didn't know. All right. I speak for all of town staff when I say that we are grateful to be in this new facility. The former town hall served us well for 40-plus years, but was in need of expansion and modernization. We converted closets to offices, had people working shoulder to shoulder, and as you walk down the hallways, in the winter, you could hear the humming of space heaters in every other office, while others were screaming for more AC. The new town hall is truly the type of facility that town elected officials and staff deserve. It is also the type of place that citizens and businesses deserve. It is an important place for the community. This has been a bittersweet week for me. I lost my mother recently and had her funeral this past weekend. She would have been proud to see my name carved into that bronze plaque. She had a lot to do with who I am and what I have become. Although the loss of a loved one is far more devastating than the demolition of the former building that stood here, there are certainly parallels. You hang on to the good memories and the things that molded you into the person you are. In a similar fashion, the old town hall that once stood here shaped what this new town hall has become. The old town hall held a lot of dear memories for many council members, employees, and residents. Because the old town hall was without many amenities, it made sure the new town hall had technology upgrades, energy efficiency, comfort features, and a bold yet elegant look. If it wasn't for the town business that took place in the old town hall, the new town hall would not exist. So today we celebrate a new building and a new era in a growing community. The new town hall will be a hub of quality customer service. The layout and technology lends itself to a better customer experience. It's really not about the bricks and mortar, but about the people whose lives will intersect at this place for a multitude of reasons. Today, we start a new chapter of memories to be cherished by future generations. We thank the Garner citizens for their vote of confidence. We thank the town council for their vision. And we thank the architect and contractor for bringing that vision to reality. We thank the town employees who will use this new town hall to serve the community to the best of their ability. And we thank all of you for caring enough to show up today for this ribbon cutting. So we thank you very much for everything you do, and we welcome you back to visit us. So at this time, I will invite the mayor and the town council to cut the ribbon. Thank you very much.
We'll ask y'all to count down, 3, 2, 1.